Cissé. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social Everton match preview. It's going to be the first game of the 2024-25 season. And it's a new season for Seagulls Social, of course. Well, coming up, I think it's just going to be
it's technically not episode 1 yet.
Technically not episode 1 yet. But it's a new dawn for Seagulls Social because Jack is no longer just a friend of the show. He's actually a co-host and we are delighted to welcome him on. Jack, e-handshake.
Yeah. Pleased to meet you. I've never met you before.
Yeah.
It's like a job interview, Jack.
I know.
You've got to give us 3 reasons why you should be part of Seagulls Social.
I've never failed an interview.
Oh, wow.
He's only had one job.
I've got every job. Yeah, literally, I've got every job I've ever applied for.
Oh, wow. That's good, mate.
That's quite weird, isn't it? Like, I'm just...
That is. It's that's very, I think you're very charming.
Yeah.
That's very Stephen Bartlett of me. Now, maybe I'm going to do some dodgy deal with fuel soon as well.
Yeah, well, they've been banned now, so you won't be getting any fuel adverts.
Yeah, this has been demonetised.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe. But no, honestly, pleasure to have you, mate. And we're looking forward to this season because you're going to bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise because you go to about 300 million games a year. So we're very much looking forward to your expertise.
Yeah, of course. And we will be, like we've mentioned before, we've got Adam joining the team as well. We were hoping to have a 4 for the first game, but Jack's having a sleepover with his mate, so
I know.
He can't make it. Sorry, not in that
really
way.
Well. Yeah, it's worked really well, hasn't it?
Just staying over at a friend's house.
Just having a cute time.
But it's good that we can get you on for this one because you can talk about Everton, Jack, and I'll ask you, what are your thoughts going into this game immediately? Looking at their team, looking at our team, how we've been in pre-season. What are your thoughts?
I mean, we've been good in pre-season, but, pre-season means absolutely nothing. Look, don't get me wrong, I don't think the quality of opposition has been bad, but it hasn't been like, it'll be a hardest
Premier
test.
League level.
Yeah, of course. Like
Villarreal was impressive though, right?
Villarreal, impressive side. You looked at that was like a who's who of like random old Premier League players. Like
Albion, Bailly.
Nicolas Pepe came on as well. Arsenal's competition winner.
That's probably the first time he had played at the Amex since he scored when we scored last minute. Do you remember when he scored an absolute worldie for us during lockdown?
I remember that. It's an interesting one. Like, I think Villarreal are a good side, European side, but I don't think they are this season. I don't think they qualified, did they? But they've previous European side, so no mugs. I think we pretty duly dispatched them. Looked like we started to take shape as well with like formation and maybe starting 11. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the very similar team went into our first game.
Are you a bit nervous about us defensively? I probably share some concerns. I don't know about you, Maz, but I think I heard, and I didn't actually manage to catch the stream in the first minute, but apparently we looked very shaky and almost conceded within the first minute. What actually happened?
Yeah, I mean, we did almost concede within the first minute, which instantly... But then on the good side, that instantly turned into a counter-attack in which like Minter was like inches wide from scoring from a header. So... I don't know. I think that's just a bit pre-season rustiness. I think Dunk was back playing, wasn't he? And that was like his first minutes, even throughout the whole Euros. He didn't play a minute there in the whole first minutes in pre-season. So I wasn't
tough
surprised.
shift at Waterboy.
I've actually got a funny story. Actually, just quickly, I was out in town the other night. And I actually bumped into Duncan. Also, I know him from before, so we were just having a chat. And I felt really bad because I actually went to him. I was like, "How was England?" And he was like, "Yeah, it was class, mate. It was class." I was like, "Yeah, you didn't get many minutes though, did you?" And then just like patted him on the back, and I felt like he laughed it off and he was fine with it. But I felt awful straight after.
To be fair, he did cook Seagulls Social when you met him.
Yeah, he did cook us actually last time. So yeah, that's for that, Duncan. If you're ever watching this, which he probably isn't. But yeah, I did feel terrible. So, but no, he's a good man, and he took it very well. So he's a good lad. I'm sure he's going to come back. And also, like you said, Jack, hopefully he's going to be key to keeping defensively solid because I know that's a big problem for us at the moment. Is like that defensive.
Yeah, well, you say that though. Like a lot of people are worried about the defensive, and I think that's just from like the eye test. But like from the stats test, we haven't conceded in the last 2 games. Again, probably the highest quality opposition. So we didn't concede against QPR, didn't concede against Villarreal. The 2 goals against Tokyo Verde, that was an unbelievable ball that I still think about now for that first goal that went through the defence.
Yeah.
And the second goal was just like a header from a set piece. And
I put a lot of blame on Steele though for those, Jack. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit. I think the whole defence. It'll be interesting with Steele. I think a lot of people just thought he'd be second choice this season, which is fair enough. I think he's made the sort of step into second choice, but Bart being injured is a bit of a problem. On that.
And Carl Rushworth wasn't available, was he? Which I think a lot of Brighton fans would have been happy to see.
Yeah, Carl Rushworth. I think maybe some people thought he'd come in and start second choice, but I think really honestly, like Bart is going to be the first choice. So there's no point keeping around if he isn't going to get a single bit of minutes. And ultimately, like Steele, this is the kind of role that I think Steele will be good at, which is just a second choice, coming in for a couple of games when needed.
And good round the squad. Jack, I just want to quickly get your thoughts on Japan because you actually went. I know we're tired for time, but just quickly, how was it? Because you got to experience something quite special as a Brighton fan.
It was amazing. Like best trip I've ever been on. Amazing to meet so many fans. Local fans, quite a few that travelled as well. I'd say quite a few. There's about 70 to 100, so there's not really quite a few.
Good going.
But it was nice to see people, a lot of people from elsewhere in Asia rather than just Japan. The South Korean Seagulls, who's like become a club legend for his Shalotto shirt, which everybody seems to be.
Oh, that was him.
I saw that go viral.
Lovely guy. Had a few drinks with him in the pub after the.
Did he say why he loved Shalotto? Was it just a random shirt he picked up?
First Brighton game he watched, it makes sense, was when we lost 4-0 to Chelsea and Shalotto had like a worldie of a game. I think Hazard scored a couple and they scored in the first 2 minutes and the last 10 minutes. And for the rest of it, we should have been scoring goals. So, and he was like, oh yeah, Shalotto really good at that. And then I was like, yeah, I don't mean this to be mean, but he ended up being quite crap. But yeah, and then he was really nice, really amazing. And just it's a holiday as well. Amazing country, amazing people. So cheap, £2.50 a pint in some places I was going to. Wow. And, I say a pint. I don't think they did pints, but...
Japanese pints.
Yeah, six quid for a meal out. It was great. I loved it. Loved it. Amazing place. Amazing.
Cool.
Place.
Speaking of amazing places, Brighton's travelling to Liverpool.
Yeah. I love Liverpool. I love it before Ben gets the whole of Liverpool on our back.
No. I've heard it's a great night out, but I've been near Anfield and it is ropey for sure.
I
just want to get your thoughts on the game. Yours, Maz, is first actually. I feel like we're either going to win significantly or lose heavily. For some reason, I don't think there's going to be an in between with this one. I don't know what you think.
No, I think it could potentially be. In the middle, actually, because Jack, you weren't here for the last podcast, but
I think the same.
I think we're gonna have a slow start in the season. I think we're gonna just because of the amount of new faces, obviously a change of system now with Herzler coming in. I think there's going to be a lot of things that we need to adapt to, and so I think. Personally, I think for the first sort of maybe 5 to 10 games, we're going to be figuring things out, especially who's going to be playing.
Such a tough start to the season.
Yeah, exactly. And also, for example, if Gruder comes in, Kadioglu comes in, even O'Reilly comes in, you look at another 3 fresh faces to add to the already, 3 or 4 signings we've already made. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a slow start. But yeah, I think, I'm actually the opposite to you. I think in the middle, I think it's going to be maybe a draw. Because Everton have got some good players, to be fair to them. And Sean Dyche, look, he knows the game inside and out. And, one of our worst defeats in recent times has been Everton at home. So,
and do you know who the referee was that day and who the referee's going to be?
It's not the same one,
is
it?
the same referee.
No way.
Even though I don't think he had too much of a say in it.
No, he didn't. We were just terrible that day. Yeah. But I think it's going to be an evenly contested game. I'll take a draw away to Everton, to be honest, in the first game of the season. And then, get know what we're doing, what system is Herzler going to play, who's going to be the personnel, and let the team gel and get better and better. I think throughout the season we're going to get better and better, hopefully. So, I think it's going to be a slow start.
Thoughts, Jack? Could you share the same opinion?
Do you know what? Weirdly, I think very similar to Maz. I think it'll be a bit of a slow start.
He usually has terrible opinions, Maz. But
no. Takes over it.
Weirdly, because actually the person who's got the terrible opinion here is Ben, because he's walked straight in and said I think it's going to be nothing in between. And then me and Maz have disagreed. So you've got to
We'll see what happens on Saturday, buddy. Buddy.
No, I think similar. I think, Everton very defensively solid. I think they got slept on a little bit last season. I think
they
obviously
just slept in general, I think.
Yeah, I think they had the points deduction, obviously, which probably embellished their position a lot more. I don't think they did as badly as some people.
They finished above us if they didn't have a deduction.
Yeah. So I don't think there is there is so much to look at in that sense. I think Sean Dyche, I saw him at Glastonbury actually. I didn't speak to him, but I stood near him.
Like him.
I was going to say, but then I refrained from saying it. But
yeah, I was on my way to see Yard Act and I saw him. So I don't know whether he's a fan, but I'm a fan.
what was he doing?
He was ordering food.
What was he going for? 'Cause he loves his curries, doesn't he?
I think it was, I think it was like an Indonesian curry.
You seen that clip of him when he like rates every single curry?
Oh
dish?
yeah.
It's
That's
very, very good.
what a man.
Oh, yeah,
I like Dyche. I like Dyche actually, weirdly. But yeah, no, I think they're defensively solid. I think we'll be coming into a new thing. We may try something different. I think we've maybe in pre-season gone a bit more experience at times. Like, we could do a midfield where we chuck in, Weafer and Ayari, but he does seem to favour Milner in midfield, which is good.
I don't know. I thought that's quite concerning because I remember when last season, maybe it's a different season, different system, might suit Milner a bit more, but. I think the only games that Milner played alright was when did he play left wing against Roma at home or against, I can't remember who he played against, but he played really, really well.
He played more central, sort of midfield, maybe. Yeah. I mean, and then I think last season he was obviously at fullback, he was suspect, shall we say.
Yeah.
I think the Man City debacle with, what's his name on the wing?
Doku.
Yeah, I think he murdered him would be a pleasant way to say it. I think, I don't know, I'm not too worried about him in the middle. I think midfield is his area where I think he's a lot more experienced. He's got experience. He's looked good in pre-season in the middle. We don't really have a huge amount of options there. I mean, Gilmour, no one really seems to know what's going on. 1 minute he's staying, 1 minute he's leaving. Someone at the fans forum last night seemed to attempt to... That was quite funny. Said that Fabrizio Romano speculates and then proceeded to directly ask him whether we're selling Gilmour or not. I don't know what he thought he was going to get out of that
didn't Barber make a little slide dig at Fabrizio apparently?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But I mean, I've done enough of that. So, so I don't know what's happening with Gilmour. So he would have been probably to start alongside Weaver for me. But if Milner, I think Milner's a very good central midfielder. And he's got experience, so I would quite like to see him there. Whether he can last the whole 90, of course, is a bit up in the air.
I guess with loads of new players, I kind of understand, with loads of new players, maybe it is good having that experienced head in the midfield to just keep people ticking because... we do have a lot of new players that haven't played many games together.
My Weaver opinion was...
I think he looks class.
He looks so good. Strong. At QPR, though, he did look like a bit of a... I think he came on and just dived into about 5 tackles in a row.
I was about to say that. He did look a bit lost, didn't he? Eager to please, mate.
It's Villarreal he looked good, though, right?
Yeah, Villarreal, he looked really good. Yeah, completely different. But I think maybe, first game in the Premier League, it might be better if he has a more experienced player alongside him. But then we do, we drop deep. We've got sort of almost playing attacking midfielders if Pedro plays. I don't know. No one's really worked out the system yet. So
that's what I'm really confused about. And that's what I want to know from the first day of the season. Is that once we see it actually against Everton, first game of the season, hopefully that gives a bit of clarity as to what system he's going to play, and then hopefully just stick to that and then get the right personnel for each role. Because was it like Barco? I'm really excited to see Barco on the left. I think, especially when Espinion's out. Obviously, Minter on the right. I'm really excited about. Mitoma on the left. Like, there's some certain positions where I'm really excited to see how it plays out and how they work in the system. So I just hopefully Everton.
Defensively, I'm scared at the moment. That's my only concern. I think that's
I think I can't.
For some reason.
No one's really worked out whether he's going to go the 4 or a 5 at the back or like a 3 at the back. I think. Yeah, it's a bit weird because at Sampaoli, he just always stuck with this sort of the defensive midfielder would almost drop into centre-back, which I thought would be like a Weaver or Belieber type role, but he hasn't seemed to have done that so far. I do think, I love Joel Veltman, but he's looked a little bit suspect at times at right back in pre-season. He always steps up in league games, so I've got no doubt really in him before the game, but that's probably a player I'm a little bit worried about.
What I'll quickly ask, who's been your... what player are you most excited to see? Because who's been your standout from the pre-season?
Well, I'm going to just... I mean, obviously Minter, but I think that's a boring answer, isn't it? Everybody knows.
He's so good at pressing. It's incredible. And
Minter looks really good. I know he's not really a new boy, but I think Barco's looked really good. We haven't really seen him. I think last season, the only games he really played with a couple of cameos, and then he got thrown into a baptism of fire, which was
Liverpool.
Man City at home, wasn't it?
God.
Where he started.
Liverpool away, I thought it was terrible.
Did you?
Yeah. And when we were
yeah.
chasing a game, weren't we?
Yeah.
So I think he's looked really good. I think Iyari's looked quite good. I've been really impressed with Iyari. He's back.
Yeah, we mentioned him last time.
I think Mint is the big one, isn't it? I think.
And then
everybody's impressed to see.
final question, Jack, before we get on to match predictions. Who are you most worried about from Everton's perspective? Who do you think is going to cause us some trouble?
And it's going to sound weird, but I think the two centre-backs. I think the two centre-backs really have a number on us. I think they're very good, or two or three centre-backs. You know, Branthwaite scored an absolute screamer at the Amex last season.
Yeah.
And Tarkowski always seems to have a number on us. He's, he's
They
very...
just signed that Jake O'Brien as well from Lyon, who scored 2 goals in pre-season. So that's another attacking centre-back they got.
And I think they're really good at sort of building a solid defence, which is so hard to get through. And another player who I also weirdly think causes a lot of threat is Jordan Pickford. He always has a worldie against us. He's England number 1 for a reason. I don't know why people thought it'd be Ramsdale for a period. I think... Weirdly, I think he came under a lot of stick for it at the Euros, but I think his kicking is superb. If you stand behind him, if you're in a picture in the ground behind him when he's doing his kicking always goes straight to Calvert-Lewin's head, like almost every time, or whoever's playing up there. So I think that, and Calvert-Lewin, of course, always seems to do quite well against us. So. We've got a lot of bogey players in this Everton team.
Yeah, we do.
And Dice bogey manager, isn't he? Really?
Yeah. Geez. What are your thoughts on the lineup then? Who do you think we'll be playing?
I think it'll be Steele, Veltman, Van Heck, Dunk, Barco, Milner, Weaver, Mitoma, Minter, Pedro, and then Welbeck.
Yeah,
all of those. I think it's pretty, and I think that was the exact starting lineup against
Villarreal.
Yeah. So I can't see us going beyond that. Maybe Weaver might not get thrown straight in. I think that's the only player because he's obviously coming off an injury.
Yeah.
If we get Ferdi Kaggioglu, do you reckon? Mate, it could be thrown straight in as well if we get him before.
Yeah,
if the reports are true though, apparently he's out with an injury at the moment. But
that's probably just Fenerbahce.
Yeah.
What like Cucurella's injury, which happened to mean we could accept a £62 million deal. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're getting to, what day is it today? Wednesday. I think we're getting very much into tight time for whether we can actually get that deal through in time. Same for Gruder as well.
Well, I feel like Gruder's more realistic. I don't think Matt O'Reilly or Hummels is going to happen now. Unfortunately, I can't see it.
Yeah,
Matt O'Reilly
decide
his future soon.
Well, no, I think Hummels is ruled out because of the wages. I think he's
is that done?
Yeah, he's done.
I think Matt O'Reilly seems to just be. I don't know whether that's
Atalanta want him as well, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know whether there doesn't. I'm not 100% sure whether there's actual links. It just seems it's one of these transfers. It sort of reminds. Do you know what it reminds me of when we were allegedly signing Eduard?
And Dembele as well.
Yeah, and it just sort of all these links, and you're thinking nobody really that credible's linked us with O'Reilly, whereas Gruder and Goglu. Well, I will say that Turkish media is an absolute minefield.
Wild West.
There are like 50 different ITKs who all are saying opposing things all at the same time. So I think we forget what a super club Fenerbahce are.
Yeah.
Mourinho. Yeah, they just dropped into Europa League, thank God. Let's get score predictions. Maz, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Very boring, very on the fence, but that is my prediction. 1-1. I think we're going to go 1-0 down and we're going to get an equaliser.
Okay. Jack?
Take away a point.
Do you know what? I'm going to go exactly the same as Maz. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
Boring, but it's the truth, right, Jack?
Boring. I think we're going to do...
Visionaries.
The only thing is I think we're going to do it the opposite way around. I think we're going to score first and they're going to pull one back probably late and then so on and so on. And then Ben's going to do something wild. I can feel it. I can see it.
You've convinced me that it's maybe going to be a bit tighter than either one-way Everton or one-way Brighton, but I think there will be goals because we ship them and I feel like we can score goals.
2-2.
0-0. I'm going to say 3-2 Brighton. It's going to be a cracker at Goodison.
That's a big opening day.
It's a big opening.
To be fair, there's been a lot of goals in the Championship. If the Championship's anything to go by, there's been a lot of goals in the Champ, so you never know.
You never know.
All right. Well, should we wrap this beautiful?
Yes, we'll find out on Saturday, won't we, boys? Jack, I'm assuming you're going to Goodison.
Yeah, 9:45 train, I think it is.
Love
From
that.
Euston.
Free train?
No, 75% off this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, just a little inconvenience.
It's free to Tokyo, though. You've got about 8 different changes.
Yeah, exactly. I could have done it for free to Tokyo, but
That's great. Would have taken you 2 days.
Oh, we can't enter Russia at the moment, so
Wonder why.
that problem.
On
Yeah.
that note, before you get
We get demonetised. Putin will be knocking on our door.
Right, yeah, cheers, Jack, man. It's a shame you can't be on for the post-Everton, but we'll get you on again soon.
I'll be back
Enjoy
for
your
the Man
sleep
United
over. Okay,
Man
good.
United game, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Maybe we'll have to try and get Adam on that as well, because it'll be nice to do the 4 of us for the first time. And then, I think just to be clear of it, people listening, we're going to try and keep it as 3 every podcast, but then every now and then we'll do 4 if it's a big episode or something big's happened, because just for time purposes, really.
I'm a busy man as well. That's my problem.
People.
I'm just a busy
Look at the Barnes shirt, mate. You look at him. That's a serious guy right in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm a busy man. So to be fair, it'd be good because then Adam can come in and provide something which just isn't nonsensical bullshit about me reminiscing about a game.
Well, he does work for
2008.
TalkSport.
Oh, well, there you go.
Whoa, shots fired.
Bash.
More like talk shite.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, we don't endorse. We do not endorse.
Wait,
Jack
we're literally...
No, it's
Podcast
fine.
literally is powered by TalkSport.
I listen to TalkSport. That's the good stuff.
Right, peace, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Peace, bye.